It was a dark, stormy night in the small town of Crestwood. The wind howled through the streets, and rain pelted the pavement as if trying to wash the town's sins away. In this eerie setting, young Tim, a pizza delivery boy, embarked on a chilling adventure he would never forget. Tim worked at Tony's Pizzeria, a cozy, family-run restaurant known for its delicious, mouth-watering pizzas. The business was well-loved in Crestwood, but its location in the outskirts meant that Tim often had to make late-night deliveries to customers living on the fringes of town. This fateful night, he was tasked with a delivery to a particularly remote and foreboding address. The delivery address led Tim to an old, decrepit mansion on the outskirts of Crestwood. The mansion was shrouded in darkness, its windows boarded up and the garden overgrown with gnarled trees. As he approached, a sense of unease gnawed at him, but he couldn't put his finger on why. Tim hesitated at the creaky front gate, but the persistent hunger for a tip and the fear of facing his boss's wrath overcame his hesitation. He pushed the gate open and ventured into the overgrown garden, following a dimly lit path to the front door. The door opened with a slow, eerie groan. Inside, the mansion was cold and dark, the air thick with an unsettling silence. Tim called out, "Pizza delivery!" There was no response. He cautiously made his way through the dimly lit hallways, passing dusty, antique furniture and cobweb-covered chandeliers. The mansion seemed abandoned, but the faint smell of decay and something else, something unidentifiable, filled the air. Tim finally found the customer in a dimly lit room. The room was sparsely furnished, with a single table and chair. Seated at the table was an elderly man, his back to Tim. The man's hunched figure gave off an eerie presence, and he was muttering something in a language Tim couldn't understand. As Tim approached, the man slowly turned, revealing a face that sent shivers down his spine. The man's eyes were hollow, and his skin was pallid, like a ghoul risen from the grave. The old man extended a bony hand, his fingers long and gnarled, reaching for the pizza. Tim, his fear overcoming his instinct to flee, handed over the pizza. The man's grip was ice cold, and his voice was a raspy whisper as he said, "You should leave." Now, Tim hurriedly backed out of the room, leaving the mansion behind, but the encounter haunted his dreams. He couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. Desperate for answers, he decided to research the mansion's history and the customer who had ordered the pizza. What he discovered sent shivers down his spine. The mansion had once belonged to a reclusive doctor known for conducting gruesome experiments on the living and the dead. The old man who had received the pizza was rumored to be a sinister figure who had dabbled in the occult and had been feared by the townsfolk for generations. As Tim delved deeper into the dark history of Crestwood, he learned that the mansion was said to be cursed. People claimed to hear mysterious voices, see shadowy figures, and experience unexplained phenomena within its walls. The townsfolk avoided the mansion at all costs, believing it to be a place of malevolent spirits. Tim's investigation led him to a group of locals who were determined to unravel the mysteries surrounding the mansion. They decided to conduct a seance within the mansion's walls, hoping to communicate with the spirits and uncover the truth. As the seance commenced, the group members joined hands, their breath visible in the chilly air. A heavy, oppressive presence filled the room, and a sense of dread hung in the air. Suddenly, the room grew dark, and the group members heard a chorus of unearthly voices whispering in a language long forgotten. Then, the shadows in the room began to move, taking on eerie, spectral forms. Tim's heart raced as he realized that the cursed mansion was far from abandoned, and its malevolent spirits were anything but pleased with their intrusion. The seance took a horrifying turn as the spirits manifested, their wails and cries filling the room. Panic swept through the group, and they frantically tried to end the ritual. But the spirits were relentless, and a bone-chilling cold swept through the room, freezing the very souls of those present. In the end, only Tim managed to escape the mansion, fleeing into the stormy night, his heart pounding, and his mind scarred by the horrors he had witnessed. He vowed never to return to Crestwood, leaving the cursed town and its haunted mansion behind. To this day, the legend of the cursed mansion and the night of the seance haunts the town of Crestwood, serving as a grim reminder that some mysteries are better left untouched, and some places are best left in the realm of nightmares.